Today I have got my thoughts on Scooby-Doo Return to Zombie Island, which was the most recent Scooby-Doo movie released on DVD. And I'll try to keep this short for you guys, but it might get tense at times. But just to start out with the only few good things about this movie. The only good things were the homages they did to Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf, the little homage to Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders, the mention of the melting from the witches for Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, and that's pretty much it. Other than that, this movie was complete garbage. Would I recommend it? Maybe to somebody that's collected every single animated and live-action movie on DVD, as well as tape copies, which I'm close to getting, but I'm just missing a few. But I don't want to get them all, unless they come across with good sales. But for somebody just getting into Scooby-Doo and this being one of your first options to introduce you to Scooby-Doo, I would not watch this movie at all and would not recommend it for somebody just getting into Scooby-Doo. This movie was a complete slap in the face joke to an incredible masterpiece in Zombie Island, which is on my pile of movies. And the characters, especially Velma in this movie and The Curse of the 13th Ghost, being a total idiot and just playing things back to the original movies. And it's just awful. Absolutely awful. And the whole gang trying to be like, oh, this isn't happening, this isn't real, and it's like, even though they know very well, especially Frank Welker, who actually did voicing Fred in the original movie, they know where they're headed. Moonstar Island Resort is really Moonstar Island. And yeah, the boat and the design to the scenery in the entire movie is exactly the same as what they used for Zombie Island, and they even ripped off a couple segments from the original Zombie Island in this movie, throwing back to some shots from the original movie. And that just wasn't bad, but it could have been done a lot better. And this movie clearly shows you that this was just a cash grab by Warner Brothers to capitalize on a movie that, yes, they helped with the original, but the original was released by Hanna-Barbera. And it's just a cheap cash grab by Warner Brothers to capitalize on an original movie, making it into a sequel that's not even scary. I bet even for little kids, even if you're introducing your younger kids to this movie, they'd be able to tell if they were old enough, say 5 to 7 years old, and they watched this movie. They would still be able to tell for a good part of the movie that's not scary. Now give them Zombie Island, they'd be scared to death, pretty much, or scared out of their pants. But this movie is just a cheap cash grab by Warner Brothers to capitalize on an original Scooby-Doo movie that was actually scary when it came out. Do I recommend this movie? Not really. Do I recommend Curse of the 13th Ghost? Sure, if you've seen the original series and you liked it, I recommend that. And at least for Curse of the 13th Ghost, Daphne got a character change and you got reintroduced to a couple of old characters, and we got some plot holes filled that we hadn't had filled for 40 years. So, those were nice things to Curse of the 13th Ghost. Return to Zombie Island, on the other hand, you had the entire gang together. so there isn't really many plot holes to fill. And the ending to Zombie Island doesn't mean that we needed a sequel 21 years later. It's just an absolute cash grab. Now, Return to Zombie Island, on the other hand, could benefit from a sequel because they made it seem like there's still an actual cat creature on the island. Now, there's a way to get a sequel going. There was absolutely no way to get a sequel out of Zombie Island. Now, Return to Zombie Island, yes, I would recommend possibly doing a sequel that's hopefully better than this piece of garbage. So, would I recommend this movie? Pretty much only to die-hard Scooby-Doo fans. I wouldn't recommend it to new fans of Scooby-Doo. So, that's just my heated thoughts video for Scooby-Doo Return to Zombie Island. Hope you guys have a wonderful Halloween. Stay safe and enjoy all the candy you can find.